Television reviews.
Shooting up your butthole.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
There's got to be some sort of copyright infringement, dude. Screw it. It's going to use the theme from now on. Sure, there's no lawsuit there. Hi to you fans, and welcome to Spoiler Alert, the podcast that somehow first mentioned Poshing Daisies and Castle when talking about classic Halloween episodes. I'm James, this is Stu. Stu went to a concert last night and his voice is gone, but rest assured his hungover body is still hung over the mic right now. Just a quick rant before we get into the topic. We're going from well thought out superhero shows to CW stuff, because Legends and Flash are always fun, and Arrow's generally got pretty good action. The characters are constantly forgetting they have like ways out of things. Like Legends was great this week. It was just a dumb episode where they fight a fairy godmother. It's a lot of fun. And Supergirl, there's like this atmosphere that's poisoned with kryptonite, and everyone's trying to find a way to protect Kara. It's going to be like the third time it's happened in this whole series where it's been dangerous for characters to stay on the planet. And they've never used the Dimension Hopper that they own to send it to the Flash universe until they get rid of the kryptonite in this case. It's like, she's clearly dying, just send her away until you get a better one, but nope. At least come up with the reason why they can't use it, because, jeez. Anyway, today we're talking best fictional towns. If you know us at all, we're starting with Springfield. Well, Springfield, it's a hell of a town. Schoolyards up and shopping malls down. I can't get enough of Springfield. It's just such a ridiculous town. Like, the mobs in this town just start over nothing. Like, every couple of weeks it's an angry mob marching down the roads in Springfield. And they're quick to turn on a dime, you know. Like, the layout of Springfield is insane. They've got like a Springfield Gorge, they've got a Springfield Lake, they've got an airport, like millions of restaurants there. All the shop owners have some weird, ridiculous quirk. It's just, I love Springfield so much. It's just like a town full of, it's like the whole joke is it's a town full of stereotypes. An edge to them, I guess, gives them a personality behind it. I love it. They're constantly at war with Shelbyville. Best of all, they're not trying to marry their cousins. So, we're on point in building a town. They've moved the town several times. I never want to live there. They've got actions of biblical proportions all the time. And they'll have meltdown scares, they'll have bartender or cock a gun at anybody who looks at him sideways. And you know, the mayor and the cops are about as quick as they come. Any other big Springfield architecture I want to think about? There's a lot of town pride in Springfield. You know, someone lops the head off Jebediah Springfield statue there. You're going to get angry about it. Alright, what else have we got here? Brief mention of Rosewood, just because I'm back to watching Pretty Little Lies now that Hangoff is on Netflix. Or rather, you know, I'm just curious and I go back every now and then, but that town is insane. My favourite part of the show, you know, I mentioned this before, I like the show because I'm not invested in it, if that makes sense. Like, I can just watch it, I can laugh at it, or I can go, oh, that was cool. And I don't necessarily care what happens. That's kind of a fun way to watch the show, really. But Rose, like, I always thought Pretty Little Lies was just, oh, that's the name for that's just the main characters in the show of Pretty Little Lies, but it's actually, no, the entire town are assholes. Like, literally every character is a terrible person. They're all attractive, they're all liars. Most of them are fairly little. I can't think of any giants off the top of my head. But it's like, you know, there's murders every season at least. People faking their deaths and then coming back multiple times. and I don't, like, everyone in town is always suspicious of each other and always right, but they're always right for the wrong reasons. I'm pretty sure the girls accused like literally everyone in town of being gay at one point. Another town where the cops are ridiculously crooked or completely incompetent, which, you know, you gotta love. Camden County, come on down. My name is Earl. Another great sort of wacky town. It's very Springfield-y, like just a bunch of ridiculous like bystanders at all times. They're always basically just a bunch of rednecks, really. They're all a bunch of Cletuses. I don't know, it's good fun to see, like, people just get into arguments over nothing all the time. And, the logic that some of these people in the town use is kind of great. You know, the trailer park where everyone hangs out, Crab Shack, and everyone's very quick to judgment, you know. Okay. Port Miranda. Now, I think I mentioned this briefly when I realised I didn't put it down as a theme song a few weeks ago, but Port Miranda is also ridiculous town because so much stuff happens over at Lighthouse. You've got magic remotes, you've got magic lipstick, you've got crazy surf shenanigans. So many utterly insane things happen in that town. It's never commented on again. It's quite insane what that family in that town had to go through. Doesn't have nearly the death count as Sunnydale does, though. Called Buffy, as hard as she tries, there'll be plenty of bodies that will show up at the school morgue, as Kelsey would say. Everyone in town's a monster, or completely oblivious. We've got wacky, like a librarian that's also protecting the Scooby Gang all the time. We've got magic shenanigans. People are building robots. I'd be on my toes around that whole town, to be honest. I just wouldn't last a second. Bedrock. I don't remember the Flintstones much, but I remember the name of the town. Got bowling alleys made with rocks. Got people are walking their cars to work, which I guess is a good workout for them. I'm not sure why they're doing it. It had to be hell on the legs. I don't know how to get any work done by the time they get there, because it'd be insane to like pick up all that metal carried on you back, or I don't know what muscles they're using really, but it's lifting up a car and walking it. It's like I'm not sure what. I don't understand who built these cars in the first place if you're just going to walk them everywhere. I don't think Bedrock cavemen were particularly intelligent. I always thought the wheel was invented before the car, but I'm not going to question the science of the show. I'm sure it knows more than I do. Yeah, it's always a bunch of... I think the town's generally fairly quick to clubbing, honestly. They've got a lot of human animal rights abuses, at least. You know, using dinosaurs to mix cement and stuff. It feels very cruel, but I guess the dinosaurs don't seem to mind, so maybe they've got some sort of payment out of it. Maybe it's not slave labour, because they just seem sentient, they talk, so perhaps they are getting paid, even if it is just in compliments, like, you've got a very long neck there, Mr. Brachiosaurus. All the better to eat you with my boss. That's it, I'd fire you, but instead I'm just going to take away your eating privileges. Where I was going with that. Going on down to South Park. Another all these towns have a lot of things in common, and that is, insanity, constant insanity. I guess that's what makes a fun TV show. I should have really thought it through before I made this topic, because there's a lot of repetition, but all the constant arguments all the time. This town erupts into propaganda and song, everything in between, I guess. You'll have aliens come down at any moment. You'll have mole people coming from up underground. You'll have natural disasters. You'll have human disasters. You'll have just disastrous episodes and disastrous arcs. And then there's that one psychotic kid that goes around feeding his, enemies, their parents. But I guess that's less the town and more, that ugly duckling no one really likes to talk about. But I mean, I'll give you one thing about the South Park as a town. When they're enthusiastic about something, they always go 110%. Every citizen in South Park are always going all in. Is there any hesitation? It's always, nope, we're doing this to the better end. And a surprising number of celebrities go through Quahog every day, considering it's the middle of America, I assume. In Colorado. Quahog, I've stopped watching Family Guy a long time ago. I'll pull the DVDs. I'm kind of one of the reasons it came back, I guess. But I bought the first 3 seasons because I remember being, it's an okay rip-off of The Simpsons. But when it came back, it was sort of just, they wouldn't even try to be funny. It's just sort of like, oh yeah, I can see what they're going for here, but it's not funny. Quahog, what they got? They got quite a bit. They got a brewery. They've got a lot of farming areas. And very a clique of a neighbourhood. Those that stick together in this. I definitely wouldn't want to live there, not because I'm going to die immediately like all these other places, but more, you never finish a conversation. You can't even start a conversation without getting thrown back in time, just to some random moment in your life, and you're like, what does this have to do with anything? This doesn't even apply to what we're talking about. And suddenly I'm back. Oh no, wait, never mind. I'm back in the present again. Oh no, wait, he said something else, and now I'm back again. I'd give me a migraine, I think. Speaking of migraines, Twin Peaks. That's quite the show. Came back recently and kind of bored me. Watched the whole season, the whole 3rd season. I thought, it was fine, I guess. But didn't have the intensity, I guess, of the first seasons, because everything was always so melodramatic, I guess. Or what would you say, Stu? Very good. It's very soap opera, I guess. Everyone was always like longing stares and long, pauses, and all the feeling, like very much the dual spies of the non-parody world. But there's all this weird shit going on in the background of Twin Peaks. Considering like they solved the murder several times, and they were right every time, and then retconned it so they weren't right, and then there were demons around, and there was woman who talked to a tree, and well, best coffee in the world, so can't argue with that. Gotham, not from Gotham, that show sucks. I really enjoy the wackiness of Gotham in the 66, but there's been so many wacky towns so far that I'm really starting to repeat myself, and I'd really rather Stu take over, but it doesn't look like it's any shape to do that. But I'm going to go with the Batman and the animated series, that Gotham. Now, I wouldn't survive very long in a lot of these towns. If I moved to Gotham, I'd die instantly. There's insane people in this world. Not least of all Batman, but there's always dark, insane characters. They've got they're like an Arkham Asylum, as I believe, like right on the edge of town, or right. It's even, I feel like it's at the centre of the town. It's like right across from Town Hall, but I'm not remembering that wrong. I might be thinking of the prison. Not the prison. I might be thinking of the police station. Yeah, Gotham headquarters, I guess. That's Gotham City. It'd be an interesting place. They've got blimps, police blimps, hovering in the city at all times, and I'm not sure how they catch anyone on that thing, but more power to them. They're meant to give them that much. Police first. I couldn't kind of see why Gordon's the only cop that Batman goes to, because they just seem rather preoccupied and seem to kind of hate him. What else? I think that's better for Gotham. I mean, I'm sure I can go into a lot of detail about all these towns, but at a very base level, it's basically Gotham City. Live here if you want to die here, because you ain't living here. Yeah, I don't know how there's anyone still living in Gotham after the first season, because I would have moved instantly. And I guess it's just cheaper. Hawkins, Indiana. This looks like a fun place to live. If it wasn't for upside down monsters coming in and out as they please. But it's fun. It's, ride your bike around anywhere. They've got I've got some woods you can explore. You've got school seems rather. They've got they got that cool cliff pathway. You can provided you don't piss off a telekinetic girl, and it'll try and throw you off the cliff. It's a really cool lookout. There, I wouldn't mind. Would love going there as a kid. Cool trail. But I guess the elephant in the room is the portal in the town. And I don't necessarily want to see a bunch of Demogorgons. Can't really keep them as pets. It's been attempted. Dustin did quite a good father, I guess. But I don't think you can trust them in the end. They're rather loyal to their pack. Even if they do end up learning how to love in the creepiest way possible. And it's a town where the cops are competent for once. This might be the first. I mean, yeah, I can't think of. Nope. Oh yeah, this is the first town where the cops actually know what they're doing. Even if they're always, a bit underqualified for the plot of the show. Riverdale. Riverdale is an interesting place to live. It's got that very 50s like town, It's got the diner, and you've got the modern technology with cell phones and computers and just sleuthing, But there's still the old-fashioned sleuthing in it. They'll follow people and they'll look together. It's a very colourful town. It's very sort of deep purples, and it's always feels like there's a sunset at all times. About the high body count as well. A lot of children dying, which is a shame. But it's cost of living, really. I wouldn't really like a mob boss, a mob family running a town, especially if it's as small as the one that Riverdale seems to be. But there's always a chance you can get picked up by a stray boy in the road for a handy, I guess. Okay, so Central City is notable for having a particle accelerator explosion every couple of years, and you can have your life rewritten at any moment. So no, and you thought getting hit by a meteor shower in Smallville every May was difficult. Neptune. Veronica Mars. This one's interesting. Because you're either very rich or you're very poor. There's nothing really in between with Neptune. There's no middle class. And they have a very big rivalry between the two, You got sometimes someone only afford a motorbike and not be able to feed their family, or sell the motorbike for that family. And they, resent the rich for throwing all the money away on lavish parties, and another high body count for a town. But that's what makes the town interesting, I think. You've got plenty of investigators around anyway. You've got the incompetent police, but then you've also got relatively good, rivalries between the PIs in the town. So you've got plenty to choose from if your friend gets murdered. But yeah, those plays look pretty fancy though. I'd like to want to attend one of those. There's some cool tables full of refreshments. Well, I guess there's tables full of refreshments at any party, but I can't imagine the poor people's parties in anyone here. That's probably just got spare engine parts. And I wouldn't want to lick that even at home. I've got a couple of islands here. Lianyu, which I thought was the most entertaining part of season 1 of Arrow. I always want to get back to the flashbacks because that was the most interesting part of the show then. Got old after a while, but again, this island, it's got a lot of activity for an island that's never been discovered. They've got boats coming and going, up to ridiculously shady stuff. So I think everyone on the town, I don't think you're allowed on that island unless you've murdered somebody at some point, or will murder somebody in the future, as it were. So it's a murderers only paradise. But everyone seems to be able to shoot a bow and arrow pretty well, which is good. You got to get your archery skills up if you want to live on Lianyu. And the Cork, which I believe is the name for the island on Lost. I didn't know the name of it until I googled it. It doesn't really have one, but people seem to call it the Cork, which I guess can't think of a better name for it. It's really not really a town, is it? It's more a purgatory. Well, I guess one pro of it is, you don't actually have to do anything when you get there. You just have to find the nearest doctor and get him to do all the work. Then you can just sort of lay back and, wait for the inevitable gory death. Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls. That's kind of quirky town, not quite as quirky as the rest, which is why it's sort of not nearly as I'd rather an insane town than a quirky town, but quirks are still fun. There's I think the town is the best part of that show. The rest of the main characters are all kind of to me, but they always have ridiculous functions in the middle of the town square, I guess. Always a town meeting where people get very intense. the mayor's always getting in constant fights in the street with the local deli owner, which kind of fun to just come by and watch them punch on every now and then. I guess this is the safest place to live so far. I think all the rest have been kind of murdery towns. I'm starting to see I might have a specific taste as far as TV shows go. But speaking of quirky towns, Pawnee, Indiana, another Indiana from Parks and Rec. Town's got a very rich history. This one, they're very proud of the fact that they slaughtered a bunch of Indians and a very graphic detail on their town crest, I guess. And it's very enthusiastic about Pawnee, the townspeople. They all rock up to town meetings for no reason and bring up ridiculous things like how good Twilight is in the middle of something that has nothing to do with Twilight. Or they'll have a request for a park that's probably the budget for 5 years work. Poorly phrased sentence. Well, the town really does love that little Sebastian, that horse. They'll have benefit concerts for it, and it's very sad when a horse dies. I understand that completely. Why wouldn't you honour that horse until for the generations to come? I was going to mention Murder Capital of the World, Santa Barbara, but they turned out to be a real town, and there's so many fictionalised New York, I can't really start listing surreal places that actually exist. Now, New York, on the other hand, that'd be a great place to live. I think it's just very modern, hyper modern, I guess you'd call it. Some might even call it futuristic. It's got suicide booths. I mean, maybe not the tourism campaign that the town's going for, but still, I mean, it's got tubes, you can take it wherever you want. I mean, it doesn't seem to be particularly helpful tubes, but they're efficient enough. It's got heads in charge you can go to it for advice. You got plenty of celebrities there. You got celebrity chef Elzar. You can meet him walking down the streets. Got Calcon, famous soap opera star that you can befriend or be taunted. It seems to be the sort of new LA, I guess, in the future. I mean, if we're just judging by those two big celebrities, sure, you got Nixon's head. He'll keep running for president every now and then, but what are you going to do? I mean, there's the occasional alien invasion, but just because they want to watch some TV that got cancelled 1,000 years ago. It's not generally world-ending. I mean, they will end the world if you don't get it, but there's a delivery company to deal with that sort of stuff. So, moving on up. Mystic Falls. I've had a lot of Vampire Diaries, but another high body count for places. It's very strange. People seem to get over their deaths. Over deaths very quickly. They'll take. One day later, they'll try to be over it. But if someone breaks up with you, they'll devastate you for seasons to come. And well, I'm not sure it's really a town that's put its priorities straight, to be honest. But, more power to them, I guess. I don't know why any humans, or if any humans, live in that town, because I don't know, I feel like after a couple of years you're like, yeah, I'm out of this shithole. Because, I guess there's plenty of jobs that keep everything up, but I don't know if that's really an incentive. considering, you know, the last one probably died a gruesome death. Beacon Hills, on the other hand, they're relatively murdery. They're not quite as cavalier about it, I guess. There's more people keeping them in check as opposed to the main characters murdering people. I don't know any townspeople that would like shoot like lacrosse. I guess it's fine, but you know, that's another town with the woods behind it. They've got a bunch of strangers that rock up every couple of years and get welcomed in to. That's always good. They've got a very selective memory. The townspeople, they'll see something incredible and then forget about it, or just say, "Oh, it must have been a dream," which I guess it means they're all stoners, but nothing wrong with that. Chester's Mill. Alright, gotta give me Chester's Mill, because this town is ridiculous. You'll have like a dome come down out of nowhere and trap you in it for eternity, and then all the characters will become 10,000% dumber than they were before. You got the world's most evil businessman trying to lead this group of maniacs that try to hang people after a couple of weeks under a dome. They're constantly running out of food and fuel, and you'll have weird butterflies that'll attach themselves to you at any moment. I really don't know. There's if you're flying a crop duster over a field and you're about to run out of fuel, you'll ask the guy you borrowed it from, "Oh no, what do I do?" And he'll say, "Oh, there's no time to explain. Flick the switch." And you'll ask, "No, I don't trust you. What do I do?" Just, "I don't have time to explain. Just flip it." And you'll flip it, and it'll turn out that it was the fuel reserve, and he didn't have time to explain that. The 3 syllables, as opposed to 10 syllables it took to say, no, I can't tell you that. But, I mean, who am I to argue with these people? They're all literally insane. There's no likable characters. There's no real quest to find answers. They keep lucking into things, and they'll keep lucking out of them again. And then there'll come a time where the entire world will be extinguished and leave them inside. And the next episode they're like, "Oh no, that was just a mirage that the dome made." So it's really a magical place, Chester's Mill. I can't. Probably the place I'd hate the most, honestly. I mean, I'm an idiot, but I'm nowhere near that stupid, and I feel like they deserve to be trapped in there forever. I'm perfectly honest. The Vile Village from Series of Unfortunate Events. This is a good episode. All these characters, all the townspeople, they're very trapped in sort of Salem times. You know, they worship these crows. They'll put children to work. They'll throw them basically to the wolves. There's 7 billion rules to follow at all times, and those rules tend to contradict each other. It's a very culty place. I guess, you know, the fact that it's called the Vile Village should tip them off, but you know, maybe it's not called the Vile Village and it's gone by memory. Maybe it's just the name of the episode. Still, I'm going to stick by what I said. Yes, I don't have to handle that many rules, you know. I don't mind a bit of order, but there's order and there's order. And they tend to, I mean, I know it happens wherever the children go, but I don't know why everyone keeps aligning themselves with the creepiest person that comes to town. But you know, who can say? I mean, he's charming, I guess, in his own way. Agrestic in Weeds. I quite like when they leave town, even if it got rid of those great credit sequences. But I do like in that you get a feel for that town immediately. It's just literally every house is the same. It's all very dainty, I guess. On the outside, on the inside, it's just toxic. There's fairs and drug bosses, I guess. And, I guess it's things that are bound to happen in a boring town like that, where everything's all the same, day in, day out. You could use a little variety, and I think getting out of the town was burning it to a crisp, if you'd prefer to see it that way. So I thought about including the good place. That's less a town and more a realm, so I'm not entirely sure if it applies. That has to include King's Landing and every space town. So if I was going to talk a town from that show, it would be their version of Jacksonville, and that's a real town. If you have a favourite fictional town that you'd want us to visit, or would rather drive an extra 200 k's out of your way to avoid, please let us know via comment or email at spoileralert@gmail.com. There's no serious spotlight this week. I've decided it's kind of boring when I pick the show. So email us if you want your opinion. Just simply ask. Instead, I've got a new game that might be a bit of fun, and that's called Shippity-doo-dah, shippity-day, my oh my, what a wonderful game. Okay, so I've put 100 character names across a couple dozen shows, and put them in this hat. You want to hold that, Stu? Thanks. And I'm going to pick out two names. We're going to determine how a relationship between the two would go, Would they last? Would it just be a flirtation? But we have to put them in a relationship and just see how it ends. Okay. We have Sam Winchester. Dear Dick of Death. Look out. Drum roll. Bobby Singer. Same show. Okay, well, Sam does have daddy issues, so an older man wouldn't be completely off base if he's feeling that way. I don't know if Bobby has the patience to deal with Sam's neediness. I imagine he's a bit of a climax, old Sammy. Look, Bobby's a lonely guy. I mean, we're assuming he's still alive at this point, because otherwise Sam's definitely gone dark side. We have a strict no necro rule here. Yeah, I don't see it lasting, I'm afraid. There's too much of a familiar bond there, I guess. I mean, they know each other a lot. So, I get it's one of those things about dating a friend, You have to you can skip get to know each other's face, so you know all your faults already. So going in, they're less likely to sort of clash heads. That might last like a few. I'll give them a couple of months at least. Can't imagine the love making's that intense, really. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't call Bobby old necessarily, but I feel like he's more obsessed with the hunt. And I guess like Sam would be the colour in the relationship, and we're like, nah, we're gonna go hunting. And I don't know why I mean, Sam's very much the all-in hunter right now as well. I mean, he's gotten past that 1 foot in, 1 foot out camp, but I just don't think hunting relationships ever last. We saw that with Dean several times now. He's tried to have a relationship. Just like, nah, can't do it. Hunting is my real marriage. Gotta give them a time frame, because how would they break up? I think still a lot of horse voice. Okay. I guess that I feel like Bobby would end it. I think he'd be the first one to say, "Oh, maybe just be like one day they just stop having sex and just like backslide back into friendship, and it's just like neither of them comment on it." But I think they're both fairly silent people. They'll be like, last time, and they'll just go back to the calling Bobby when they need help. I really hope they didn't saw a baby. I mean, I think Jim would get very angry about that. I guess that's it for this week. If you want to listen to his other podcast, you can. It's called Stupid Man, where Stu binges Stupid Man and tries to recite each episode off by heart. As for next week, I guess we'll be doing... Alright, let's do movies based on TV shows next week. So if you've got a suggestion or an opinion on one, send it our way. Bye. Wait, I've got to come up with Did we come up with a good sign off for this week? It's got something to do with town. It's a hell of a town. Nailed it.